Hey friends, Sean from Draft Therapy here, and on today's review for you, it's the 10th anniversary of a beer that was released to commemorate a 10th anniversary. RuinTen is a 10.8% triple IPA from Stone Brewing in Escondido, California. As you heard in the intro, this beer was originally released in 2012, and it was to commemorate the 10th anniversary of the first full-time brewed and bottled West Coast style double IPA, Ruination. Now, to put that in perspective, the top grossing film for 2012 was the original Avengers movie, which to me feels like it was yesterday almost. Now, it hasn't been released in 10 years, so RuinTen commemorates the 10th anniversary of the initial release of this beer, I guess. So let's take a look at the label. We'll get it into a glass. But first, I'd like to thank my executive producers, Brian Kramer, David Jeffries, Vinny Cant, and Cam Freeman for helping to bring this review to you today. If you'd like to become a producer, help out the channel, or maybe just throw me a couple bucks to buy me a beer, take a look at my Patreon at patreon.drafttherapy.com, where you can get early access to all these videos and a few other special perks available only to patrons. If the monetary thing isn't your thing, please share this video. We'll spread the word about craft beer. Let's take a look at the label. Very confusing. Kind of just says this is a 10th anniversary of us releasing this beer. I don't know why they don't just say that. But if we look at this can, it's got a nice green color to it, a nice dark forest green metallic look to it. I love the color. It says Stone and white in a golden font. It says RuinTen Triple IPA. It has the gargoyle head in white, has all these little hop cones and all these little branches. I was going to say leaves, more like vines and branches and whatnot. Underneath that, it says Triple India Pale Ale, 10.8% alcohol by volume. This is obviously a 12 fluid ounce can. If we turn it to the side here, we can see it says brewed and canned by Stone Brewing in Escondido, California, and Richmond, Virginia, made in the USA. The government warning, all that good stuff lets you know this is a vegan beer. It is a certified independent craft brewers association beer. And then here we see all the words that Stone loves to put on their cans, and I'm going to read it off to you because you don't need to hear this at all, but I'm going to read it anyways. It says, "You voted, we brewed. Brewed in 2012 to commemorate the 10th anniversary of the first full-time brewed and bottled West Coast style double IPA on the planet, Stone Ruination IPA. It was a thrill to pay homage to a beer already well known for its off-the-charts levels of bitter happiness by amping it up even further, and our brewers rose to the challenge. Now, 10 years later, fans are still clamoring for this beautifully bitter beer. So in honor of those who voted to bring this 10.8% monster back, may this stage dive into a mosh pit of hops be every bit as gloriously ruinous as ever." This was packaged on April 20th, 2022. It tells you to enjoy it by August 18th, 2022. This is May 7th that I'm recording this, so no worries. We're going to enjoy it by the enjoy by date. I really honestly don't know why they didn't just put this out, why they have to tell you all this information about Ruination. It's a 10-year anniversary of when they originally released this beer, RuinTen. They released it because it was the 10-year anniversary of Ruination. It's been 20 years. That's all we need to know. That's all you need to write. But it's Stone. We kind of expect that they're going to put a bunch of stuff on here for whatever reason. Let's go ahead and crack this and put a nose on it. Has a really dank aroma to it, but it also has like a clean, kind of fresh, hoppy aroma to it as well. Let's go ahead and pour this. Really, a really orange look, amber to the color, to the pour of the beer down out of the can. If we just go let it rip down the center here, we're looking at about 2 fingers of a off-white, kind of shading towards an orangey yellow, almost amber colored head. Really compact bubbles, as you can see from the overhead, the foam, the head itself. Even on the cross section, it has the look of a really packed together head. I just recently had a beer that it was really like the opposite, where it was really loose looking, but this one looks really sharp, really tight. Let's go ahead and hold it up to the light here. As we would expect from Stone, and again, a 10-year-old recipe, it is super clear. I mean, I can see my fingers through it. You can probably see me through it. My glasses right around this area here, or right around this area here. Yeah, you can see my little bald head upside down in there. This is super clear. It looks very amber to me and to you. It pretty much looks exactly the same. The color of this reminds me very much of a Two-Hearted. Like pouring a Two-Hearted into a glass like this, it looks just like this to me. And let's put a nose on it out of the glass. Really, again, a very bitter, has a bit of a, almost an earthy kind of aroma to it, but a lot of citrus, a lot of piney resinous. I am expecting this to be a very bitter beer, but let's try it out. We're going to talk about the mouthfeel first, so if I make strange faces, it's because I'm trying to think of things not to say about the flavor while I'm trying to talk about the mouthfeel. Ooh, all right. So let's talk about the mouthfeel. It is a little bit on the heavier side. It's not really what I would consider to be thick. It's got a bit of a medium mouthfeel to it, but it hangs on. It like clings to your tongue. I am tasting everything right now. So let's talk about the flavor. We'll get into it. I'm going to try and break it down because it seems like it goes through these little stages. So let's break it down here. On the very upfront, it comes across as, has a little bit of a sweetness up front to just kind of tantalize you into thinking, oh, it's not going to be that bitter. When you take that drink, when you take that swallow, that bitterness just like covers your entire tongue from the middle to the edge and leaves this streak. It's almost, for lack of a better term, it leaves like a skid mark of bitterness right down the center of your tongue. They should put that on the next, in 10 years, they should say like, leaves a skid mark of bitterness down your tongue, Sean Draft Therapy. I'd love to see that quote on a can. But then once we get that bitterness, it just kind of streaks down the middle of your tongue. That bitterness, man, that just hangs on. What I'm getting out of the bitterness is a little bit, it's like it runs the gamut of all these different, these hoppy not bitterness, but bitter kind of hop profiles. You're getting a little bit of a floral, a little bit of an earthy, getting a whole lot of citrus, orange specifically, really like orange peel, orange rind bitterness, and then it hits that piney resinous on the finish. And some IPAs, you know, when you drink an IPA, sometimes the bitterness can hang on. It can be a little clinging. It can hang on for a little bit, and eventually it goes away. This has like this such a sharp, bitter, resinous quality on the finish. It has this, I think the maltiness that comes through in the beginning is more of a sweet maltiness, a sweet malt kind of flavor. And then it finishes with that really resinous, piney bitterness that just clings to your tongue. It dries it out. It's like a dry, resinous bitterness. It just like whoosh, it just sticks on your tongue. This is like the original West Coast style IPA, lovers IPA, West Coast style IPA. It is so just in that West Coast vein. It has, like I said, it has that malty sweetness, so it almost kind of deceives you at first that it's not going to be like so West Coast, but then once you get through the entire swallow from the beginning to the middle to the end, well, actually more like the middle of the beginning of the middle, all the way through the end, you're just getting that West Coast. It just screams West Coast IPA that whole time when it comes through. That thing that Stone has made their name, has built their brewery on, that bitterness, that specific like Stone style bitterness, IPA hoppy bitterness is here through and through from, again, that beginning of the middle. The beginning, you're getting that little sweet malt, and then everything after that is just this super, just the house that Stone built, IPA, like strong West Coast bitterness. One thing I haven't mentioned, 10.8%. It does have a bit of a boozy bite to it as well. It really came through on that first drink when I was talking about the mouthfeel, but then ever since that part, or that specific piece of the puzzle, it kind of starts to fade. Now my tongue is kind of used to it. My taste buds aren't so shocked every time. It is extremely dangerous, but it does, the way that it is so bitter, the way that it is so strong, in your face West Coast, it almost lets your brain know, like if you've drank enough West Coast IPAs or IPAs in general, when you get something that's this strong, you just know in your head that it's like, oh yeah, this is gonna put me under. Like they sell this, I believe they sell this in 6-packs in the paper, like 6-packs. I don't know if they sell it in bottles. I would think they do, but I was only able to find it in cans, and I think that's region specific. You're not going to drink the 6-pack. This is like drinking, for viewers of this channel, this is like drinking a 6-pack of Hop Slam. You're just not going to do it. This is even more. I believe Hop Slam is 10%, and this is almost 11. Yeah, 10.8%. This is almost 11%. This is West Coast. West Coast fans that have been looking for the resurgence of a West Coast style IPA, and you're sick of all that fruity stuff, you're sick of even the Midwest stuff, it's not scratching that itch. RuinTen is going to scratch that West Coast itch. Anybody else that's not into the bitter, maybe you're not going to want to apply for this one, but I think if you are out there and you're just looking for something different than those hazies, those sweet IPAs, those really just kind of juice bombs, we're almost into just straight up juice territory at this point. If you're looking for just a traditional West Coast style IPA, this is the beer for you. All right, friends, that has been RuinTen from Stone Brewing. Do you have a favorite Stone beer, or maybe a favorite triple IPA, or a favorite West Coast IPA that you feel like just doesn't get enough love these days? Let me know in the comments down below while you're down there. If you like beer, you might want to subscribe and click that bell. I'm here talking about beer twice a week. Tuesdays and Thursdays is all for free for viewers just like you. And you might miss your newest favorite if you're not subscribed and getting those notifications. If you're subscribed and getting those notifications, share this video if you liked it. Click that thumb down twice if you didn't like it, and tell all your friends about it. So until next time, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. Thanks for stopping by. Remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries. These guys are in Escondido, California, and Richmond, Virginia. And until next time, don't forget to treat yourself to a little draft therapy. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you again next time. Cheers.